What?
All lies will be exposed.
All lies shall be exposed. And Merry Christmas. So, folks, there won't be a Christmas Eve or Christmas Day show because old Kit Kat needs some breaks, okay? Come on, the holiday season. I've been working 24/7 the past, I don't know, quite some time. Good to have all of you here. Welcome to Hard Lens Media. We are live every Monday through Friday, except for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central on YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, Odyssey, and Kick. So it's so good to have all of you here. This is going to be a Christmas live stream, sort of. There's going to be some fun stories, the morning dump, of course, as well as a lot of other good stuff here as well. So welcome one and all. So you know what the rules are. Pour some whiskey in your coffee. Grab yourself that mimosa, smoke a bowl, do some shrooms, chew on some cocoa leaves, whatever you need to do to get you through this mighty Monday morning. If you're going to work, be safe. And I'm so sorry. If you're coming home from work, be safe. Get home safe. And if it's your day off, dance off, pants off to you. And I hope you have the day off tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So there you go. So welcome to Hard Lens Media, YouTube, Rumble, Rockfin, Odyssey, Kick, and X. So please support us on all these platforms. And if you want to help us out even further, please, it would be a wonderful Merry Christmas present if you would consider being a patron supporter. It would be ever so nice. But here's, if you can't be a patron supporter or do YouTube Super Chat or PayPal, number one, enjoy the show. Number two, enjoy the show. Number 3, hang out with the chat. And number 4, share our content on social media. Okay, it does boost up the algorithm. It's very nice if you do that. You know, it just helps us out so much. Number 5, just be awesome. So there you go. You may notice, yes, I'm not in my standard suit. I'm wearing a little, being a little festive. Plus, it's really cold. And this weekend, I've been really working on a lot of stuff. So, there we go. Whoa. Oh, my goodness. Natalie Williams tipped $20. Merry Christmas, Kit. Enjoy your time off. Blessing to you and others. Well, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All that good jazz to everybody watching, okay? Blessings upon you and your families as well, okay? So there you go. To everyone, please be safe. That's an order. That's an order from the Mad King. So there you go. Kit, is that supposed to be an ugly sweater? LOL. No, it's a nice sweater. What's wrong? Hey, listen, I ain't wearing anything ugly. I don't think so. Miss Witchy Perfect. There you go. Let's see. Disclaimer: Kit's sweater is not an endorsement of Orange Man. This is a red sweater. Red. Okay, so there you go. But it is a little chilly here in Chicago. So, folks, listen, first of all, let me pull these wonderful Patriot supporters' names. Patriot supporters, you're keeping us alive. First of all, shout out to Karen Shapiro, Catherine Rose Cadets, Kathleen Mellis, Kelly Dowhauer, Kenneth Locke, Kinkle, Kurt Boss of Bosses. Kurt, hope you're doing well, buddy. Kurt L. Riker, Lana Williams, Lana Anna, Laura Bomber, Lawrence Johnson, Lee Folks, Linda Corey, Lou Israel. We also got, who else? Hold on. We got Love Rain. Well, we love you so much. We got Lewis, Lyle Gentleman, Mandy Zimri, Marcy Gradwell. We got Marcus Kilgore. We got Margaret Sawari, Mastermind Hour, Michael Hage, Michael Swinsky, Miguel H., Mike Cotter, Mike Terminite, Mission to Marbs, Moat Witch, Molly Littlebird. Thank you so much for being patient supporter, saying thank you will never, ever be enough. So there you go. But now, folks, my lovelies, my mornings, my sunshines, I think it's only fair now that we do start with the morning dump. The morning dump where you crap on company time. There you go. And also, by the way, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all my colleagues in independent media. No matter where you stand on the political spectrum or who you voted for, Merry Christmas, okay? Everyone deserves a break. Everyone does, even old Kit Kat, because I think I'm burning at both ends. But now, folks, hey, here's what happens when my lottery money finally hits, right? All my future ex-wives and girlfriends show up in mass. Here they are. Hello, ex-wife number 1. How you doing? Ex-wife number 2. How you doing? Oh, no. Ex-wife number 3. Oh, no. Ex-wife number 4. Oh, no. Number 5. What's going on? Oh, 6. I'm in trouble. Number 7. Hi. I'm broke. My reaction. Hold on, folks. Listen, if you want to laugh, here's some animal humor for you. Hold on. Got to mute because of copyright. But there you go. Everyone calm down. It's just a cat. Just a cat. There you go. See, look, isn't that hilarious? Now listen, folks. Listen. Sometimes I could fix her, sometimes I can't. Future ex-wife number 8. Officers, give her another chance. It's not her fault, officer. We were just having an argument. Now listen, folks. When it's Christmas time, please be safe out there. And I got to mute this because there's music playing in the background. But everyone's happy until the Christmas tree catches on fire. Okay, now look. This is not how you handle a fire. No, goof troops. Oh boy. Sometimes Sometimes, folks, situational awareness is key. Situational awareness is key. All right. Just remember, be careful with fires. And also, if you're at a motorcycle event, what possesses people to cross the road? Dodged a wheel in a millisecond. Okay. Check this out. Like right there. Dodged it. Dodged it. Dodged it like that. Okay. Don't be stupid out there, folks. Be smart. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. And then finally, folks, time for some doggone fun. Everybody get on the bus.
Go. Come on, go sit down. Paulo, go. Colton, Teddy, knock it off.
Yeah, come on, guys. Knock it off. Get on the bus.
Sit down. Go sit down. Daisy, enough.
I like how she's able to recognize all the dogs' voices.
Sit down, Timby. Rusty, come on. Come on, Hanky.
Hank, get on.
You got it, babe? Oh, you need help, honey? Come on. Mom will help you. There you go. Come on, Hank. And I know everyone's going to ask where Izzy is. And since she doesn't like listening, no, you don't like listening on Load Up. Come here. Yep, she's in a little prison. Come here.
Come on. Come on, puppers. Let's go. Let's go, puppy.
Ah! Come on, guys. In. Let's go.
In the bus.
Izzy! Izzy, in. Come on. Let's go. In. Come on, Kevin. Oh. Okay, go find a spot.
All right.
Go, boys and girls. Come on, go find a
Good doggos. Good doggos.
spot.
Good doggos indeed. There you go. There you go. And Dan Burr says, I got one dog. She could be a handful. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. But now, folks, welcome to Hard Lens Media. Thank you so much for making us part of your Monday morning. Seriously, folks, it's viewers like you, patron supporters that are keeping us alive. We're very thankful for all the support. 2024 is almost over. Now comes 2025, year of the snake. Oh, boy. Let's be ready. Let's be ready for what comes our way, whatever it is. Let's be ready for whatever comes our way. But now, folks, I think it's only fair that we get started with our first segment of the day. Okay, so AOC has come to a huge revelation. You want to know what it is? Do you really want to know what it is? Hang on. Hold on. I'm going to have a little cup of coffee here. I'm not going to spit it out. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez declares that the United States is a full-on oligarchy. Says we are heading towards experimental times. Okay, listen. I don't do this often, but fine, whatever.
I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
That's what I think of AOC's statement right there. I mean, AOC, you've been in power since 2018, okay? You're saying that the United States declares the United States a full-on oligarchy and that we're heading towards experimental times. I mean, you call Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear. I mean, Nancy Pelosi is like the avatar of oligarchs, okay? I mean, we know that the United States Congress does insider trading. I mean, how many times have you heard all of your favorite independent media shows say the same thing? That, yes, our politicians are doing insider trading. They're corrupt. You hear it from INN, Due Dissidents, Jimmy Dore. You hear it from RBN. You hear it from everybody, all right? Sabby Sabs. Shout out to people who I'm leaving out. Shout out to Gray Zone. Shout out Mint Press News. Shout out to Glenn Greenwald. I mean, everybody across the political spectrum. I mean, we all know it. I mean, hold on, folks. Folks, are you impressed with AOC's revelation saying that we're a full-on oligarchy? Type 1 for yes, Kit. This is a huge revelation. Type 2, the sky is blue and water is wet. What's going on? So hang on, brace yourself, folks. Listen, because if I had to sit through this stupidity, so will you. Okay, and remember, folks, I apologize in advance. And just right here, somebody asked a question. Are we witnessing the start of an oligarchy in the U.S.? It's already there, okay? It's already there. There's like, what, over 200 plus, maybe 300 plus videos of Jimmy Dore saying the same thing?
Oh, I don't think we're witnessing the start of an oligarchy. I think we are fully here. You literally have a completely unelected billionaire who has just taken over and paused government funding to specifically take out provisions regarding China and other areas that pertain to him. You have billionaires who run news outlets like Jeff Bezos and the Washington Post, billionaires that run the LA Times, completely interjecting into their editorial boards.
Yes. I mean, we know this, and you've even talked about it when you were even running for Congress. I remember that. I do remember 2018. I'm not crazy yet. I'm not senile yet. I don't have dementia or Alzheimer's yet. I mean, my brain isn't caved in, and I'm pretty sure all of you across the political spectrum, across generations, know full well that our media is bought and owned by billionaires. All right. Our politicians are bought and owned by billionaires. I mean, the top 1% control, the media and our political class. I mean, this is the situation that we are living in. We know about it. We see it. But the thing is, AOC, you were elected on change, and in that, there was this assumption, okay? And maybe this is my assumption. Perhaps I'm putting too much of my ideals out there, but maybe to rally people, to protest, to, call for action, to fight for initiatives in which we could stand up against money in politics, and there was this assumption. But I don't know. I saw you playing ball with a lot of those oligarchs. And especially during this election cycle, was Biden running and then eventually Kamala, there was no real criticism towards the Democratic Party for their primary, especially in 2024.
And manipulating what's being written in them. We're here. We are here. And
we've been here even before you got elected into office.
We are going to witness very unprecedented moments come January. Elon Musk.
Okay, hold on. She starts talking about Elon Musk. All right. Now, look, I think it's easy to vilify Elon Musk. Okay, I get it. But see, the thing is, he's not the end-all, be-all Saturday morning cartoon villain. It's just like with Trump derangement syndrome. Yes, Elon and Trump do deserve to be criticized, to be looked at. But if they are going to be the poster boys for villainy, for people to say, oh, we got to stop them, I'm sorry, but those two, there are far more worse individuals than those two I just mentioned, Elon Musk and Donald Trump, okay? There have been people who are billionaires, who are in control of multi-billion-dollar corporations, who have influence in Washington, D.C., in Wall Street, who've done a lot of damage, okay? I mean, a lot of damage. Now, Trump and Elon aren't no saints. Trust me on it. They ain't. But I think it's easy because after this election, November 5th, Trump's back in. We're going to see the protests, parades. Shout out to Nick Thompson for that one. Nick Thompson, he co-hosted a show a few weeks ago, early in December. And he came up with that phrase. So look, that's perfect way to describe what we're probably going to witness from the La Resistance. There's going to be parades in front of Trump Tower, not protests. And I think it's just easy to make those two into the villains. But what about the people, the billionaires who donated to Kamala Harris? What about their influence? And just remember the name Sam Bankman-Fried? Well, Sam Bankman-Fried, and we covered this on the show too, way early this year, where he was recorded in saying that he gave money openly to Democrats, but in the shadows and the back rooms, he gave money to Republicans too. So there are billionaires who are buying off both parties. It's not just Elon and Donald Trump that are the problem, okay? In fact, there are worse people than them, and I want to make that very clear. But hang on. Here's AOC talking about her crush. Talking about one of her rivals.
I believe does create problems for Trump. And I've been seeing over the course of the last week that...
Is somebody snoring? Hold on. Wait.
for Trump. And I've been seeing over the course of the last.
Do you guys hear that? Or am I going crazy? Hold on. Do you guys hear that? Let's rewind that again while she's talking about Elon. Hold on. Listen.
Elon Musk, I believe, does create problems for Trump. And I've been seeing over the course of the last.
All right, cool. Snoring confirmed. Snoring confirmed. Okay. Somebody might have sleep apnea. They need a CPAP machine immediately. That's no jokes. Sleep apnea is a very real thing. Your little health advisory from Hard Lens Media. Okay. It's not a lot of proper oxygen flow. Roll them to the side, whoever that is. Or it could be a dog. Could be a dog snoring.
Week that when Elon tweets something and when Trump tweets something, Republicans don't know. I said this earlier. Republicans don't know who their daddy is. Like, they don't know.
Whoa, why'd you say Republicans don't know who their daddy is? Huh. Okay, it was very creative there.
Which one they need to be listening to first, and it's scrambling them. But it's not a joke that I think Elon poses real political problems for Trump and arguably may have more, at least rival his power and influence. And that's going to be a problem for
David Glitnan. Hold on. That line, it's from that Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think it's called A Babysitter or something. Hold on. Arnold. Hold on. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Who's your daddy and what does he do? Who's your daddy and what does he do? Kindergarten Cop. That's right. Sorry. Kindergarten Cop. And apparently, from what I've heard from film trivia experts, those were actual real statements said by the kids and put in the film. That film came out in 1990. I don't think you can make a movie like that again. Anyways, off topic. Let's rewind.
Don't know. I said this earlier. Republicans don't know who their daddy is. Like, they don't know which one they need to be listening to first, and it's scrambling them. But it's not a joke that I think Elon poses real political problems for Trump and arguably may have more, at least rival his power and influence. And that's going to be a problem for Trump. They're both bad, but there you go. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of people that have answers and takes on this question, understandably so. I'm not going to be here to tell you here's the definitive answer, but because I think that the time that we are about to enter is going to be highly experimental. I do not think, to this other question, that it is about waiting for a political party to have an answer. I do not believe in that, like, just as a worldview, that we wait for Democrats as a political party to save the country. I don't believe that the structure of that party does that inherently. Now, that doesn't mean, to me, that doesn't mean that you don't vote for them, but I believe that building independent power of people's movements, union, labor, other protest movements, etc., is where.
Yes, sorry. We had to sit through that, but it is rather shocking. It is rather shocking that we have that kind of that we have AOC even have the audacity of screaming out that we are in an oligarchy. Okay. All right. Now, hold on. There's just one more thing before we do move on with the segment. Okay. All right. But hold on. Let me go ahead and end this question here. End Q&A. Hold on. But real quick here, folks. There has to be something wrong with the idea of running in the Democrat Party and think you can make change. I mean, if there's ever a prime example, it has to be AOC and the squad. As much as there was this audacity of hope for them, they just don't have what it takes. And if they're relying on Trump and Elon being the end-all, be-all bad guys, it's not going to work. People want effective change. People want to see something done. And now here's something that just doesn't work, okay? The whole idea of trying to bully somebody who's probably dealt with so much crap on the internet, it's not going to phase. I mean, come on. Trump has been a focus of ridicule by so many jokes now that I think it just doesn't affect him anymore. I mean, the man's been to courts so many times, he might as well have his own briefing room in every single courtroom in the United States. But AOC's plan, bully Elon.
Honestly, make fun of him effectively. This man so deeply desires public acceptance and adulation. Honestly, make fun of him effectively. This man so deeply desires public acceptance and adulation.
That's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. It's not how it works, and this is not how you do effective change. You know, I remember in my conversations being on the Post-Duopoly show with RBN and Due Dissidents this entire year, and all of our conclusions have not only been proven correct, but it's evidence that for this year and going into the midterm election cycle, I understand people are really burnt out by electoral politics. I understand that people are tired of hearing the phrase of, oh, we got to vote this time around. This time around, it has to be different. This time around, there has to be real effective planning, and that is through citizen ballot initiatives. And here's where you, the audience, can step up and get real effective change. It is all of our social responsibility now to check and understand the rules and laws and legislation in our own individual states and our own counties so that we can actually bring in change. And it's up to citizen journalists now, because citizen journalists are causing CNN and corporate media to panic because people are informing themselves. People are reading themselves. You know, open up a book, read, inform yourself, and inform others, empower others. This is how we bring in change. This is how we stop this endless, mindless BS from our political ruling class. We have to understand the laws, because we just can't have somebody hold our hand and trust them that they're going to lead us the right way. We have tried. It doesn't work. And at the end of the day, we might pout and scream, or we might not want to do it, but it's work that we have to do to avoid this nightmare or get out of this nightmare that we are in. You're going to hear a lot of people talk about how Trump or Elon are a threat to the republic, how we're never going to have a vote again, or this is fascism. We already have a corrupt system. Our politicians are bought. We know this. We have to undo the damage. It's always been that way. It's always come down to the people stepping up, not the ruling class. If we want real change, we have to take the initiative. I've learned that lesson. We've all learned that lesson. You want to do something, do it yourself. With that being said, first of all, real quick, thank you so much. We got a super chat here from Natalie Williams. Thank you so much for the Christmas $20. Thank you so much. John Michael, thank you so much for the $5. The Republicans don't know who their daddy is, but AOC knows who her mama bear is. Also, whoa. We got a couple of Rumble rants here. Big John 32904 with a $5 Rumble rant. Thank you so much. Pelosi is AOC's daddy. Oh my goodness. GHU 81 with the $1 Rumble rant. Thank you so much. And oh my goodness, hold on. Getting a couple of messages here. AOC will dump her boyfriend for Elon. She needs a new sugar daddy. Like before, cute Kanye and Jamie Foxx. Oh, she takes money. I can't say the rest of it because you know, copyright. But there you go. Hold on. Shout out to our people watching us on X here real quick. And let me just go ahead and acknowledge all this good stuff here. In a couple messages. All right. Cool. All right. Done deal. Hold on. I'm disappearing. Thank you so much. There you go. And hold on. Let me see. We're getting a couple other chats here too. People are saying, people are talking. Lady Alex, we cannot undo anything, Kit. Still idealistic at this point. I have to hold on to hope. It's what's gotten me through these past couple of years. And that's just me speaking. I've lost people close to me. The holidays aren't really the same. People I've known when I was a little bit younger have also passed away. So, I have to hold on to hope for there's a better future. I have to. I guess that's just me. But I think it's possible. We have to try. We have to try. We have to try. We have to try. So there you go. There you go. That's just me speaking. That's just me speaking. But now, folks, let's go ahead and move on now to next segment of the day. Let's get to it. Let's get started with it. Let's get ready now for our next segment of the day. All right. So Saturday Night Live. I know. Why am I talking about Saturday Night Live? Well, I can't play the video because we'd probably hit was copyright strike. But SNL did one of their news segments mentioning Luigi. Luigi, the guy who took out the United Healthcare CEO. Yeah, well, SNL has been blasted, horrible choice of word, over shameful moment. Audience cheers for accused CEO killer Luigi. So, first of all, it's not, I want to be clear. It's not SNL's fault that the audience cheered. I mean, that's the whole point of the crowd. When I do the live stream show, if I do a segment, everyone's laughing about it or enjoying. I mean, hell, that's a reaction from the audience. I cannot control how people think. All right. Nobody does. So when you have a crowd and something happens and the audience reacts to it, it might catch the presenter off guard. Sometimes that happens, be it for a live stream audience or something happening in real life, like in theater or in sports or in a movie theater, anything of that nature, okay? So it's not really SNL's fault how the crowd reacted, but the crowd cheered for Luigi. So I want to pull up this article here from the New York Post because I think there's a fight on both sides because people are still surprised that there are a large portion of the population that are asking for Luigi to be freed. Now, again, innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. He has to go through due process. And this is a case that is going to be a front and center issue, especially going into 2025. I mean, we're only getting started, okay? Legal process takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of time indeed. So let's talk about it. So SNL's woke studio audience, I wouldn't call them woke, erupted in applause at the mention of accused United Healthcare assassin Luigi Mangione during a segment over the weekend, visibly shocking even cast member Colin Jost. Well, it's not. Again, when you're in show business, sometimes you got to roll with how the audience feels. Okay, there you go. I mean, you can't control what people think. Mangione, 26, has attracted a following of unhinged fangirls. I think he's got a huge following across all the genders. Yes. Since his December 9th arrest, hundreds of whom have been writing him letters and making deposits at his jailhouse commissary account, correction officials have said. So Luigi's going to be eating pretty good then, huh? During Saturday's weekend update segment, Jost name dropped Mangione as he went into his wind-up for a joke, which instantly prompted raucous cheers from what sounded like mostly women. Okay, so just remember, innocent until proven guilty. Jost seemed to be surprised by the response, glancing off stage and awkwardly smiling while sarcastically quipping at the audience, "Yeah, definitely woo," rhetorically asking, "You're wooing for justice, right?" No, they weren't. And that is pretty much his shocked Pikachu face. There you go. Mangione was hit with new federal charges in New York last week, including first-degree murder for allegedly gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of Midtown Manhattan Hilton on December 4th. The new charges mean the privileged Ivy League graduate, who has been adopted as something of a bizarre folk hero by the deranged anti-capitalist left, could be eligible for the death penalty if convicted. All right. The cheers from the crowd of the long-running late-night sketch show drew swift condemnation from pundits and journalists on X. These people are freaking sick. Author Jennifer Sides, hitting out as what she perceives as hypocrisy, wrote, "The SNL audience must be the dumbest group of pathetic woke performance known to man." Well, here's the thing. there's a lot of people across the political spectrum, each having various opinions and perspectives about what happened on December 4th. Now, let's be clear here. The healthcare system in this country is downright deplorable. And everyone has a story about being denied healthcare. No matter who you vote for, the health insurance industry doesn't give a damn. And if it's going to deny you care, it's going to deny you care. And it causes a lot of people to be angry. And when you have such a sick system, you are going to get some kind of reaction from this, because how many times have people been said no? Now, is it the fault of the audience? People need to ask, why did the audience cheer? It's just not sickness. It's also, why did they cheer? Why are they cheering? Why are they celebrating? Why are people reacting to this story? Because there's two sides. Of course, there's people who's going to be condemning the murder. And then there's also people saying it's about time. They're glad to see something bad happen to the health insurance industry. But listen, there's a boiling rage in this country. People who have been working day in, day out, every day of their life. And when they're denied health care, how do they have that conversation with their loved ones, or have a conversation with the loved one that was denied care? How do you move on? It's a question, and it's a story that all of you have shared with me as well. And all your stories, just as important, just as impactful. And you're not alone here. Here they cheer for a Silver Spoon Trust Fund murderer, a stranger with some deranged Robin Hood, I'm a hero story. Audience is moronic and evil. Journalist and New York Post columnist Piers Morgan, do you bloody well condemn hummus? Called the moment disgusting and ripped Joss for his reaction. Colin just smirks away as if it's one big giggle. Shameful moment for SNL. Well, okay, first of all, Saturday Night Live is a comedy show. And it's live. He's going to have to move on. He just can't sit there and pontificate. He's playing a caricature of a news anchor. He has to move on with the story. He reacted to the audience, and he has to move on. That's the best thing you can do. When you're in comedy, when you're in theater, however the audience reacts to it, if it's organic or just happens right out of the blue, just a random sporadic moment, you have to still move on. You know, it's not a lecture piece. It's a comedy show. Anti-CEO sentiment has become a trendy in left-wing activist circles after the public execution of the father of two, causing some corporations to take security measures such as scrubbing the names and likeness of top executives from their websites or hiring security guards. Now, I also want to pull up something else here, because this is a story that did catch my attention because it's an opinion piece. This is, and everyone's entitled to an opinion, but this is by Alan Dershowitz, right? How would I defend Luigi? This should be interesting. Ever since the arrest of Luigi Mangione for the cold-blooded murder of Brian Thompson, I have been repeatedly asked, how would I defend him if I were his lawyer? The question is not surprising, since I've been involved in over 30 and attempted murder cases over my 60-year career. Good God, the stories this man must have. Some of them involving high-profile defendants such as O.J. Simpson and several death row inmates. The honest answer is that I don't know, at least not yet, nor should his current excellent lawyer, Karen Friedman Agilfiano, because she has not yet had the opportunity to confer at length with her client. And he should be able to speak with his lawyer. There's a thing called due process, and it's until proven guilty in a court of law. It is important to remember that a lawyer in a criminal case is merely an agent. It is the defendant who must decide which defenses to raise, whether to plead bargain, whether to testify, and especially whether to raise a defense such as insanity. The first thing a lawyer must do is confer with her client, evaluate his competence, present a realistic assessment of the case, and analyze the available options. If a lawyer disagrees with the client, she may decline to take the case, but she may not impose any strategy on the client that does not meet his approval. The client in this case may have a possible insanity defense, but he may choose not to raise it. He may prefer to defend his actions as a rational response to how insurance companies conduct their businesses. This would be a losing legal strategy, but it may be consistent with what he wrote in his manifesto. Similarly, he may prefer to have a case litigated in state rather than federal court, because federal court proceedings are not televised, whereas some, but not all, state court proceedings are. There is an issue of the death penalty, which would be available after federal conviction, but not a state one. Mangione could, of course, insist that he didn't do it despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary, where There were those who criticized the Simpson defense team for not admitting guilt in the face of what the prosecution called a mount of evidence, but OJ insisted on claiming factual innocence, and the jury ruled in his favor. Remember the 90s? Mangione case is not comparable to OJ's because his manifesto virtually admits to having committed the crime. His attorney could, of course, challenge the admissibility of the document, as OJ challenged the admissibility of some physical evidence. But even if the manifesto were to be excluded, there seems to be more than enough evidence to convict. Mangione could seek a plea bargain under which he waives both state and federal trials in exchange for prison sentence that would allow parole after a certain number of years. It is unlikely that the state or the federal government would accept such a deal in light of the evidentiary realities and the positive publicity a trial would generate for them. It's always possible, of course, that one or two sympathetic jurors could slip by the prosecution's questions and end up hanging the jury, but this cannot be counted on by the defense. If Mangione insists on claiming he didn't do it and refuses to plead insanity, his attorney would be in a difficult position. She would lose her credibility with the jury if she voraciously asserts that it was not him who shot Thompson. Her best tactic would be to acknowledge that the forensic evidence shows that he committed what is called the actus, I'm going to say this wrong, the actus reus, the act component of the crime of first-degree murder. She would then have the credibility to argue that he lacked the mens rea, the mental elements necessary for a conviction of first or second-degree murder or terrorism. Court proceedings, aren't they fun? This would be difficult if the manifesto is admitted into evidence because the document strongly suggests rational, if perverse thinking. If some jurors are sympathetic, they may, however, conclude or have a reasonable doubt that despite his surface rationality, it is the product of a sick mind that turned him so quickly from a top student to a deranged killer. This is the only realistic option that has any chance, slight as it may be, to save Mangione from the death penalty or life without parole. The unavailable role of a criminal lawyer in a case like this is one to avoid the worst outcome, while following the instructions of his client. I think that his current attorney is up to the job. So that's what I'll have to go through. Isn't that something? Luigi's got that mountain to go through, and this is going to be a case that I think is going to be a front and center issue for quite some time. It's not going to go away. We thought 2024 was a ride. Get ready for 2025. And by the way, we cannot forget the name Breonna Boston, because she herself is currently also facing a situation where she allegedly made a phone call or during a phone call with Blue Cross Blue Shield representative that she made an alleged threat to their life. Now, that case is still also ongoing, but we'll see what happens. But something tells me this case is just more than just what happened on December 4th. It's going to shine a light on the sickness, not only of our system, but of healthcare in the United States and what we can do as a people to avoid such madness. With that being said, hold on, I want to acknowledge people here. Good to have all of you here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show indeed. If you haven't done so already, please, with a cherry on top, hit that like button. It would be a wonderful Christmas present, and I think even Mama Cabello would appreciate it because she's making some coffee for herself. Everybody says Merry Christmas to Mama. There you go. Hold on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen Mother says Merry Christmas to all of you and peace to all of you. All right? That's an order. So there you go. So stay warm, stay safe, and I hope tomorrow and the day after tomorrow you have the day off. So there you go. Wendy Carballo, our official White House counselor, says, hello, Mama Cabello. There you go. There you go. Wendy Carballo says, hello, Mama Cabello. There you go. Miss Richie Perfect. Merry Yule, Mama Cabello. There you go. Everybody's saying, there you go. There you go. There you go. BW says, Merry Christmas, Mama Kit. And let's see what's going on. It's my Kick people. How are you doing? We got Commercial Herschel, Taxi Graveyard Music, and I think I'm disappearing now, too. Am I disappearing? No, I don't think so. Not yet. Who else we got here? We got He's in 459. Good to see you. Tired of the lies. Good to see you. We got all these people here in the chat. Also, what's going on with my Rockfin people? Good to see you. Rumble people, much love to you. Big John 32904 says, Merry Christmas, Mama Cabello. Absolutely. Odyssey people, much love to you. Everybody hit the like button. And also, Punk Starter says, see, hold on. Punk Starter says, Merry Christmas and solstice. Happy holidays to you guys, to both you and whatever crew you might have behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Punk is a. Hold on, let me make sure I got that right. Did I say that right? Thank you so much. There you go. So I want to give a huge shout out to people. So hit the like button. But now, folks, we shall move on now to our next segment of the day. Let's get to it. Let's get started with it. Are you ready to go on strike? Okay, so we all know that right now, Amazon and Starbucks workers are on strike. For those of you who don't know, this happened last week where a lot of these workers were on the fence protesting, striking, and definitely making their voices heard. And a recent video has come out when this happened on December 21st. I want to give a huge shout out to Hotspot for actually filming or for actually getting this video and sharing it on social media. But Amazon floods a public road in order to stop union workers from picketing. Oh boy. Especially during this cold time. That's really not cool. And perhaps maybe there was an accident. Maybe I'm being too generous here, but it just seems oddly suspicious with a protest happening from the warehouse that the water just gets turned on. Sorry, I got a copy to mute it because of music playing in the background. But, why is the water out there? How odd that the water is out there. Isn't that shocking that the water is out there? Why is the water out there? And what's going on? It says a lot. It says a lot indeed. But I also want to pull up this video here. Shot the case study QB. This video just came out on the 20th where MSNBC is covering it.
And lastly, some labor news. More than 11,000 Starbucks baristas are set to strike this morning. Also, Amazon workers in 4 states doing the same right before the holidays. What's the latest?
Yeah, so not very good news, really, as we approach Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Let me give you the rundown here, because there's indeed 2 different stories. We heard from Amazon. We know that workers were striking in New York, Georgia, California, and Illinois as well on Thursday. However, it's unclear how this could impact consumers, because a lot of Amazon workers are actually not part of a union. So let's see how this will actually evolve. When you think about Starbucks, on the other hand, indeed, we have a union representing more than 11,000 workers saying that they will be holding a strike for 5 days. So you might not be able to get your usual Starbucks over the Christmas period, but let's see how this will unfold. There's still a couple of days that there could see a little bit of a compromise. We'll see.
All right. CNBC's Sylvia Amaro live from London. Have a good weekend. Thank you as
So the protests have been going on for these past couple of days, and these are where workers are just asking for fair treatment. These workers are asking to be given some dignity, respect, because how many times we've covered stories where Amazon wellness centers, Amazon warehouses, are constantly treating their workers like crap. Now, to do the work that they're doing requires a lot of manual labor. To do the work they're doing, they're given a lot of insane hours and quotas to meet up with. Now, every job has its moments of difficulty. But since we've been doing Hard Lens Media, we've been covering stories such as the crisis that's happening in a lot of these Amazon centers. It's clear that their voices are still not being heard. If one would say that the progressive Democrats that are currently in Washington, D.C. would maybe get more involved, but we're not seeing that. Well, what is interesting to see is how Fox News chose to cover it, asking if Trump is pro-union. Okay. Brace yourself.
Today, getting that last-minute gift may be tricky as the Teamsters Union expands its strike against Amazon. And they're not alone. Starbucks baristas also ramping up their strike as unions gear up to test President-elect Trump. Our next guest warns this could only backfire. Trump economic advisor Stephen Moore is here to explain. Good morning, Mr. Moore. And the first question would be, what is the actual impact of the Amazon strike or the Starbucks strike to people watching?
Well, Peter, good to be with you, and Merry Christmas. Look, it's obvious that these workers are striking now to cause maximum disruption. I mean, Santa Claus is coming in a few days, and those packages have to arrive on time. I've got 4 that I just sent out on Amazon, so I certainly hope that they arrive on time. But I got to tell you, Peter, right now today in America, only 6% of private sector workers are unionized. So unions are pretty much yesterday. They're passé, especially in the private sector. The workers certainly have a grievance, and that grievance is that for the last 4 years under Joe Biden, inflation has been so high, Peter, that wages and salaries for workers like Starbucks workers, like workers at Amazon and all over the country, their wages have not kept pace. And that's one of the reasons people voted out Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, because the inflation has been so high. And I'm here to tell the workers that are, going on strike, wait a minute, just stick around. Donald Trump is coming in a month. And Donald Trump is going to get rid of inflation. He's going to provide higher wages for workers. When Trump was president in his first term, we saw huge advances for American workers. So I hope these strikes don't disrupt people's Christmas season, because
chances are they will. Chances are these strikes will cause a lot of disruption because, well, people are being screwed over right now. All right. And when workers still don't have enough money to make ends meet, I mean, it's clear that there something has to give. People do deserve to be treated with dignity and respect, healthcare, insurance, all that kind of good stuff, making sure they have enough for retirement, because who knows if people can ever be homeowners or retire in a country. I mean, heaven forbid, the whole idea of being a Walmart greeter continues on even long after we're gone. I mean, nothing breaks my heart more. And look, I'm all for seeing people work. I'm all, if it brings them joy, so be it. But we've seen our fair share of depressing stories where somebody in their 80s and 90s goes back in the workforce because the retirement doesn't meet, or something horrible happens and they're reduced to being a Walmart greeter. Okay. And we've seen those stories, and corporate media likes to promote those as feel-good stories. But I think when you're in your 80s and 90s, you've lived a very long life. You made it to the end. A lot of people don't have that privilege. A lot of people don't. I think you deserve peace, dignity, respect before you leave. Okay. It shouldn't be working a 9-to-5 job. Unless that's something you want to do, fine, to each their own. But dignity is the watchword. And that's what these people right now in Amazon are doing. The Starbucks workers, that's what they're doing. To get their fair share of dignity. Because when they get old, don't they deserve peace with their family and friends? I think the answer is yes.
I do think it could backfire on them. If you're going to win one of these labor disputes, you have to have the public behind you.
And according to Axios, the line is Trump 2.0 looks a lot more pro-union than 1.0. Is that right?
Well, I would put it a little differently. I'd say that Trump is pro-worker. Look, there's a big...
Do you think Trump is pro-worker? Let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 for, oh yeah, baby. Type 2, no politician is pro-worker. They just say words that they want people to hear, and then they move on.
Difference between unions and what's good for unions and what's good for workers. Oftentimes we see big unions doing things that are the opposite of what is in the interest of workers. In fact, a lot of the major unions endorsed Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, when in fact it was Trump who was the one who was most beneficial to worker rights. So we will see what happens. Look, the workers, this is America. Workers have a right to go on strike if they want to. But I do worry. I would be worried if I were these Amazon. And by the way, Amazon is a good employer. That's the other thing. If you turn your control over to union, they're going to take union dues right out of your paycheck, Peter.
But it's okay to trust a corporation here too. Yes, it is important to bring up the fact that union leaders have, on the horrific times, sold out their union membership. I mean, come on. We've seen these stories. We've seen how union leadership would endorse corporate Democrat candidates. We saw that in 2016 and 2020 primaries. But the corporations must be trusted. Trust the corporation. Trust Omnicorp, the corporation that has your best interests at heart.
Suddenly, the incoming president seems to have a much better understanding of the working class, maybe than he did last time.
Right.
Maybe it's because, unlike last time, he recently worked at McDonald's.
Well, that is true. I don't know if he had the union card there, but you're exactly right. This is a guy who gets middle class America. You know, if you look at what happened in the election, there's no question about it that it was the middle class, it was the working class, Peter, that voted en masse for the first time for a Republican president in Donald Trump. So he knows who brought him to the White House, and he's going to be very attentive to making sure American workers get a better deal.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. Wait, hold on. Say that again the way you said thank you.
Get a better deal.
Thank you, Steve.
Wait, say it again.
And workers get a better deal.
Thank you, Steve.
That was a really weird way to say thank you. Happy holidays. More awkward moments from corporate media. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Steve. So, what can we take away from the Amazon strikers right now, especially knowing full well that this is going to be carrying up until Christmas? Well, the only way you're going to be doing things right now, the only way things can actually happen where change can make an impact is if, you make it a front and center issue. You have to disrupt. You have to cause a scene, and you have to make sure that people understand why you're making this happen. I want to pull up and also acknowledge what's happening with the Starbucks workers because we cannot forget them and the work that they're doing, okay? So first of all, this is an article here from Common Dreams. Let's go acknowledge it here. First of all, Starbucks workers launched 5 days of escalating strikes across the United States on Friday, accusing the coffee giant of reneging on its commitment to engage in productive bargaining talks with the union that now represents more than 11,000 baristas at over 500 stores nationwide. The walkout start in Los Angeles, my hometown, the city of Chicago, and Seattle on Friday, before expanding coast to coast amid the holiday rush. Starbucks Workers United, SBWU, stated in a statement announcing the strikes. SBWU said strikes are a response to Starbucks, backtracking on our promised path forward. In February, the two sides agreed to begin discussions on a foundational framework designed to achieve both collective bargaining agreements for represented stores and partners. But SBWU Thursday that the company, which repeatedly violated labor law in its bid to crush a union movement that spread widely since 2021, has yet to present workers with a serious economic proposal. This week, less than 2 weeks before their end-of-year deadline, SBW said Starbucks proposed no immediate wage increase for union baristas and a guarantee of only 1.5% wage increases in future years. The strikes are expected to ramp up daily through Christmas Eve unless Starbucks honors our commitment to work towards a foundational framework. Striking baristas are also asking allies to help boost their organizing efforts at Starbucks by hosting small flyer events at not yet union stores during the 5 days of walkouts. Now, I think it has to be more than just 5 days. There has to be now more initiative. You could strike, but will members of Congress react? Will politicians react? And the thing is, no, it won't. Now, I've given this advice to a couple other groups that are trying to do some effective change or preparing for the 2026 midterm election cycle. I know. We're still far from it, okay? And here's hoping that 2025 just takes its nice, slow pace. It's very peaceful. But now's the time to start building frameworks, organizations, and structures in order to make that midterm election cycle more about organizing, fighting for state rights, and worker rights. This is where we have to start stepping up, and each of you in your own right as well, start maybe leading your organizational change to make sure everyone gets a fair deal. You can rely on a protest, and I get it, a strike too, but I think it's fair enough to assume that more needs to be done so that effective change can take place. And yes, making it happen during a holiday or a key holiday event is important. It brings more awareness from the media. But this is where these organizations have to start going also onto independent media, reaching out to groups and organizations that can bring more awareness to the plight that's facing these workers, their stories. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of them have stories that you've heard before. I'm doing this job to make ends meet. I'm doing this so I can have health insurance. I'm doing this so I don't get evicted from my home. I'm doing this job plus 3 others just so I don't starve to death. There's a problem here. And all the problems that we've seen in 2024 are going to follow us in 2025. And the way there's a wealth gap between those that have everything and those who have nothing, will continue to widen until we say enough. So for this holiday season, raise a little fist in the air for the workers that are striking right now. They're doing this while each of us know that there's a bigger problem. The wage gap has gone too far. People don't have health insurance. People cannot retire with dignity. And I'll be damned if even if I reach that old age, we still have that same horrific scene of a Walmart greeter, okay? Now look, I want to be clear on that. If that brings somebody joy, all right. But no one in their 80s should go back to work. No one who's working right now should have the panic in their stomach of wondering, will I make it this month? That's not how it should be. We all deserve respect. With that being said, hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Please hit the like button. It would be ever so nice with a cherry on top. There you go. Hit the like button, pretty please. Pretty please. Because folks, I'm promising you some fun stories, okay? There you go. Hey, listen, if you think we're done yet, you are gravely mistaken. You're gravely mistaken. So there you go. But also, whoa, Rockfin people. Lois Drumhammer, Mary Kit had. Oh no, Lois, you had COVID. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, but I'm glad you're feeling better. Lois Drumheller, listen to me. Listen to me very well. And this goes for everybody. Because even I was a little sick over the weekend, okay? A lot of stress. Maybe things will get better. You say, F you, Amazon. Does this guy enjoy scaring workers? Yeah, probably. Roger Meadows, unions cannot stop your job from being outsourced. Only government unions don't have to worry about that. Bezos is currently taking the case to court to declare unions unconstitutional. Roger Meadows says, stop fighting 21st century villains with 20th century weapons. The reason unions were so successful 100 years ago is because after World War II, there was no country to outsource to. U.S. was the last one standing. Very true, Roger Meadows. Very true indeed about that. WW2. There's a time where you could own a home after the war, right? Now you can't own anything. You will own nothing and be happy. Roger Meadows also writes, the only way we're going to get out of this mess is to jump completely over unions and go straight to passing laws that will allow worker co-ops to form, grow, proliferate. When we own the company, we control the company. When we own the supply chains, we control the supply chains. When we are manufacturing, then we control the manufacturing. Roger Meadows, shout out to you, buddy. Odyssey people, much love. X people, much love. Rockfin people, much love. And by the way, shout out to our Kick people. Great stuff to see all around. Rumble people, good to see you. If you haven't hit that like button, it just takes a few short seconds. To hit the like button, then everything's all good. Everything becomes beautiful. Or if you on Twitter, hit the heart and then retweet. Tweet on Easy Street. So let's go ahead now and move on to our next segment of the day. Let's get to it. I'm going to get angry with this story. I'm going to get angry because it says a lot about our current ruling class, our politicians, and really about how this really flew over all of our heads for quite some time. And each of us need to understand that if we're going to be going into 2025 and eventually, there will be the midterm election cycle of 2026, hear me out. We have to address the dementia issue in Congress. Now, it's been recently revealed that, oh my goodness, surprise, the Biden administration knew, every one of his aides knew that Biden had good days and bad days and that he just wasn't all there. Oh my God, everybody's shocked. Well, if you weren't paying attention over the weekend, United States Congresswoman has been absent for about 6 freaking months. Kay Gardner of Texas was living at a senior living facility dealing with dementia issues. I'm going to be calm. But we're a global superpower, and yet our leaders in the United States Senate and House, and in the White House apparently, are not all there. So maybe the reason why things are so bad is because No one's manning the ship. No one's behind the wheel. No one's controlling the buttons. No one knows what they're doing. Has Congress become a geriatric home? Yeah, it has. It has. But before we get started with the missing Congresswoman, first let's go ahead and see the avatars. Some prime examples of people who really shouldn't be in power. Remember this? Mitch McConnell, United States Senator, where he froze up. This was just earlier this year. This is elder abuse. And this is abuse to a population of 300 million plus Americans. Now we know why things are so bad. No one's in control.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
He can't give an answer. I've seen this look. We have all seen this look, okay? Now, again, I don't have a soft spot for politicians, right? I don't. But it angers me because these are the people in charge of us. These are our commanders. These are our leaders that corporate media has said we must trust. Never forget how Morning Joe said it. This is the best version of Biden. I know this is Senator Mitch McConnell, but my goodness. This is an insult to the American people.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Whether it's, well, it's the first bill that protect our assault, bill, COVID shots in the arm.
Okay. Just want to read this here. We then received a tip from a Gregor's constituent who shared that the Congresswoman has been residing in a local memory care and assisted living home for some time after having been found wandering lost and confused in her former cultural district, West 7th neighborhood. The Dallas Express team visited the facility to confirm whether Gregor was residing there and to inquire how she planned to vote on the spending bill. Upon arrival, 2 employees confirmed that Gregor was indeed living at the facility. However, we were not permitted to conduct the interview regarding the current spending debate in the House of Representatives, or how or if Ms. Gregor planned to vote. Remember was Dianne Feinstein? Dianne Feinstein, remember her? Before she passed away? Remember her? I think people have forgotten Dianne Feinstein. Because she was not there. She was not present. And these are the politicians that we got to trust, okay? I mean, I just want to pull up this tweet here. But there does come a point where, hey, you gotta ride off into the sunset where like it's over. It's over. All right. Hey, and I'm gonna be facing that same thing too. Someday I will not be top of my game, but God forbid, is this what we have as leaders? Okay. She wasn't physically fit. I also want to pull up something else here too, because see, the thing is, for the politicians that have functioning brain cells, the amounts of twists and turns that they have to do to support their party says a lot. Case in point here, Senator Chris Coons says, "I still support Joe Biden, but that was true. The first time I saw or heard anything that made me really question his fitness to serve a second term was that debate. Remember that debate against Trump? Here we go."
You're a longtime ally of Joe Biden. You sit in his former Senate seat. There was a report in the Wall Street Journal that was pretty detailed and pretty well sourced, outlining concerns about the president's mental and physical fitness going back to the start of his presidency, even cabinet members who were kept at arm's length. Is that true?
I don't know whether cabinet officials were or were not kept at arm's length.
Were there concerns
I know
about
that
him?
for years, the way I communicate with President Biden is not by hanging out at his house on the weekend or traveling with him overseas. but he calls me when he's got questions or concerns. And I'll remind you, in just the fight of the last couple of days, there are Republicans who've been saying that Joe Biden once again outsmarted them politically. So which one is it? Is he a savvy political operator?
Who said that? You know, sometimes I say on this show, like when I see sometimes you, my audience, would sneak in as a funny character, you know, and I say, okay, who did this? Cousin Dickie or Tina Mayberry shows up, you know, that kind of stuff. And I love it. It's funny. It's funny. Like, okay, who did this? Who did this? Or sometimes you see a meme, who did it? No, really, I got to ask, who said that? That Biden's running circles? Because I heard it from corporate media a lot, especially Morning Blow or Kamala, saying Joe Biden's running circles around his team. Oh, yeah, he's probably running circles around his team because he doesn't want to put his pants on. I saw that debate. I mean, even my goodness, Trump looked like he was going to show some sympathy. Like, my goodness, can you see that they put this guy up here to debate me? Okay, do you believe this? Do you believe this? And I can, unfortunately, because we have given this warning on the show way back in 2020 that we got politicians who are in power who are not mentally or physically fit. Now I know how the ancient Romans felt, at least to a degree, when their political class was just straight up failing. This is nothing new. It's the first time for us. There has to be age limits. There has to be term limits. This is unacceptable. And I got to ask to the family members of these politicians, don't you love them? I mean, you got to be human to a degree. I mean, I get that Washington, D.C. is a cesspool, but where is your goddamn humanity at for your loved ones? Unless these are truly, like, really insane families, you know? But where's the compassion? Because it's the people at the end of the day that got to rely on these congressmen and women who are in their 80s and 90s who aren't all there. Who's running the show? You know what this legitimately states? Is that when people reelect these politicians in office and they're, like, not there, their votes equal to nothing. And how that said representative or senator votes is going to be done by their handlers. So once again, the average voter does not have a seat at the table. It's a big question mark. Did your senator and House representative really vote?
Who outsmarted them, someone who had the sense to step back and let them keep fighting with each other, and in the end got exactly the spending bill that he and his administration and Democrats in Congress had been fighting for? Or is he someone who's completely AWOL? I think it's the former. And if you look at the record of his administration, how many massive legislative accomplishments he had as president and the ways he made us safer and stronger at home and abroad, I'll take that record any day.
You told Fox this week that you didn't realize that there might be something wrong until our debate. You know, looking back, are you comfortable with your support, the fact that you were a co-chair of his campaign, the whole thing? I
still support Joe Biden. I think he's a compassionate and decent man who has been a consequential president. But that was true. The first time I saw or heard anything that made me really question his fitness to serve a second term was that debate.
Okay, let me ask you guys this. You think he's being honest there with that final statement? Because he had to have known. He had to have known. Think he's being honest? Type 1 for yes, kid, he is. He just didn't know, no. Type 2, no, he knew. He damn well knew. He's lying through his mouth. He's lying through his skin. He's a liar. I wonder how many 2s will show up in the chat. I wonder indeed. Do you ever wonder? Okay. Now, case in point, before we do bring up the missing representative and where she was at. Ladies and gentlemen, the infamous debate. Okay? Because I mentioned it. Because look, I don't really know too much about Trump, but I could tell from this face right here, like, my God. This you kind of see it. You kind of see it just a little bit.
Elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if
just the way Trump's looking, I'm like, my God. Like, again, maybe some kind of sympathy here, right? There's like, this is the president of the current president of the United States. Up until when it gets to January 20th, there'll be the switchover, right? This man, Biden, was in charge of us for 4 years, and he wasn't all there. I'm furious. And at the same time, too, I also have this panic. Like, my God, what kind of bullet did we dodge? Or how many bullets have we dodged? But wait, technically, well, hold on. We got a war with Ukraine. So, no, maybe we're not dodging anything. Or proxy war happening in Ukraine, Russia, U.S., all that good stuff, right? Madness and insanity. Let's rewind that just a little bit.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to care.
Now, real quick here, too. Just further on the fact that it's been revealed that the president was not all there. Before we pull up that, this is the representative who was missing. Okay. Now, this is from Ken Klippenstein. The claim that no one knew about Congresswoman Kay Gardner's dementia is laughable. Here she is speaking before Congress back in March, stammering and stumbling over every sentence while relying on verbatim on a written script. This is painful to watch. To the family members of these politicians, are you guys human? Do you care just a tiny bit? A little bit? Anybody? No, yes, no. Do you care about the republic, the nation?
Republicans made progress in how we fund the government. We drafted the most conservative bills in history. Members submitted over 1,000 amendments. We considered House bills individually on the floor, and we avoided a massive omnibus measure. In total, we increased defense funding and made target cuts. We also maintained our legacy under my.
Try not to rage out here. I'm really trying not to, but this is a sick display, and not maybe. This is the reason why things are terrible. Greed, resentment, corruption. These are things that are crippling us because people won't let go of power. They're thinking about the good of themselves and enriching themselves over the republic, over you, the people. So if you're a Democrat voter or a Republican voter, hey, surprise, surprise, you got another thing in common. Both parties are more than happy to have your famous U.S. Senator or U.S. House Representative be a little puppet for them. All the while, you're still being ignored. And not to mention, turns out you'll never have a chance to really speak to your senator or representative, because if you do get the privilege, they're going to forget about you in like 5 minutes. Not because they're greedy, but it's because their brain isn't all there. Tell me again, diehard Democrat voters and Republican voters, is this a system that you still feel proud of? Now we know why things are this bad. It's a Democratic and Republican issue. And the thing is, we need term limits. We need age limits. This is abuse at every level, and every American, no matter what generation you're part of, the color of your skin, who you worship, I don't care how you vote, or whether you choose not to vote, every one of us should be absolutely furious. No one is in charge. There's no system of accountability.
Colleagues on the other side of the aisle want to remove. Overall, this bill honors our commitment.
William Charles, I'm glad I caught your chat. Would you keep your job being this out of it? No. Unfortunately, no. The thing is, but in Congress, guess what? You could stay in. Any other job? Would you trust a construction worker maintaining one of those heavy. See, I'm stuttering here now too. See, one of those heavy cranes, those big sky cranes. Would you trust somebody who has dementia running that thing? No. A bulldozer? No. Hell, imagine somebody with dementia driving a bulldozer on the Dan Ryan here in Chicago or on Lakeshore Drive. It's something I don't want to see.
Commitment to our veterans, strengthens our energy security, hold agencies accountable, support our farmers and ranchers, and makes our transportation system safer. I urge my colleagues to support this bill, and I reserve the balance of my time.
All right, let's talk about this. So, Republican Congresswoman from Texas has not cast a vote in the United States House since July. So, July, August, September, October, November, December, 6 months gone. While she's been grappling with dementia issues and residing in a senior living facility, according to her family, something she did not disclose to the public before a Dallas media outlet figured it out, where she was during her prolonged absence. Kay Gragner, 81, has represented Texas' 12th congressional district, which includes part of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, since 1997. It's quite some time. And beginning in January of 2023, she spent more than a year as a chairperson of the powerful House Appropriations Committee. By the way, AOC lost out to another older representative for a key seat position. We talked about it on the show. Hey, AOC, now's the time to really just say, all right, old people out. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's asking too much because, again, I got to remember, I'm not expecting the squad to do anything because they follow the orders. Continuing on, but months after announcing her plans to retire when her term ended, when her term ended in early 2025, Gragner largely disappeared from the public eye. Her congressional website shows her last vote was on the 24th July, opposing a measure to reduce the salary of the deputy assistant administrator for pesticide programs to $1, just days after Joe Biden canceled his presidential reelection campaign over questions about his age and mental fitness. And maybe that's why this story was quiet for a while. Because Joe Biden was the main front center issue. So maybe her family and her staff realized, okay, Joe Biden's just out there. We just hide the representative, keep everything quiet, and maybe everything will be A-okay. The reporter, Carlos Turquios, eventually received a tip from a local resident that Gragner had moved into an assisted living center specializing in memory care. After going to the facility and question to determine whether Gragner indeed lived there, the assistant executive director confirmed this is her home. Gragner's son later reported told the Dallas Morning News that Gragner was having some dementia issues and had moved into an independent senior living care with a memory care community on the same property. However, he disputed that she was being treated at the memory care community and said she was a resident of the independent living side of the property. Okay, I can understand a little bit where the family's coming from. Okay, I can. But this is where you have to be honest with the people. Because if this has been an ongoing issue, I mean, a lot of people are going to be raising an eyebrow, okay? A lot of people are going to be raising their hand, finger in the air, and say, excuse me, I have some additional questions. Neither Gragner nor her staff could immediately be reached for comment on Sunday. The Morning News reported obtaining a statement from Gragner's office, which conveyed gratitude for the public's concern and said that unforeseen health challenges, quoted, made traveling to Washington, D.C. frequently both difficult and unpredictable. Local and state Republican leaders were among those who said they were troubled over the reporting about Gragner. Yeah, Bo French, chairperson for Tarrant County, Texas, Republican Party, told Dallas Express that the lack of representation from Gragner's district is troubling, to say at least. Extraordinarily important votes involving disaster relief, debt ceiling, and U.S.-Mexico border have occurred since Gragner's last vote, French said, and Craig Gragner was nowhere to be found. We deserve better. Social media post, the Texas State Republican Committee member Ronaldo Garcia added that Gragner's need to live in a memory care facility suggests she may have already been in visible decline when she successfully ran for re-election in 2022. A sad and humiliating way to end her political career, Garcia wrote, sad that nobody cared enough to take away the keys before she reached this moment. A sad commentary on the congressional gerontocracy. If you knew she had problems, why didn't anybody step up? Unless it's all about the dollars. And you know what? Hey, wait a minute. Let's have democracy in the chat. Is it all about the dollars? Type 3, no, Kit. It's about consistency. Type 4, no, boss. It's all about the dollars. It's all about the money. It's all about making the machine go on and on and on and how much people can bleed out. I wonder how many 4s. I wonder how many 4s will be in the chat. I wonder. Do you ever wonder? Let's go ahead and go back to this video from Case Study QB. Huge shout out to him. And just so you know what it's about, White House aides hid Biden's apparent mental decline, which became obvious within the first few months of his presidency. You don't say. It's not like Harlan's media brought it up before.
An explosive report from the Wall Street Journal shedding light on how the White House functioned with a, quote, diminished Biden in charge. Madeline Rivera is in Washington with all the blockbuster details. Maddie.
Good morning, Tom. This Wall Street Journal article describes the insulation that staff provided President Biden more so than in previous administrations. The signs of Mr. Biden's age reportedly became obvious in just the first few months of his term. He would become tired if meetings went long and he would make mistakes. He had good days and bad days, and in some cases, meetings would be scrapped all.
And this was out here. And yet, remember, corporate media said that Biden was fine
together if he had an off day. Per the article, his meetings with cabinet secretaries were relatively infrequent, and the effort to shield him stretched onto the campaign trail. Some campaign donors said they noticed how staff stepped in to mask other signs of decline. They would often repeat basic instructions to him, such as where to enter or exit a stage. So a lot of Democrats maintained this refrain in public.
Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years.
Well, do you think the president should undergo some sort of cognitive testing?
No, to the extent that we're having this conversation, I don't see any need to do that as it relates to Biden.
Republicans are criticizing Democrats for the lack of transparency.
There was a vow of silence among Democrats and liberals in the media for 4 years. They didn't say it after the debate either, when it was clear to everyone. It was only after the election, when it could no longer affect their ability to cling to power, that you start to get some of the real stories. I have to remind all of our viewers, Joe Biden is still president tonight. We've got another month of Joe Biden. He may be forgotten, but he's not gone.
White House spokesman Andrew Bates rejected.
I'm going to stop here. Jimmy Dore, once again, has been proven correct. We are a country. We are the children of alcoholics, of abuse. And it says a lot about us as a nation, too, that this is what we have tolerated. It says a lot of what we've allowed to happen. All right? I'm part of that, too, because I didn't really think too much about it before I got involved in politics or media. But the more I read, the more I watched, the more I talked with people, especially in this sphere, in this business, it's becoming very clear. This is a generational problem, a cycle of ongoing abuse after abuse. No wonder everyone's so ticked off in this country. No wonder everyone's so angry. It's because there is no leadership. There is no true representation. And this is where we got to change things. A congresswoman missing for 6 months. Senators and House representatives being stood up as little puppets, all the while probably not even knowing where they're at. I only can imagine what it's like to lose your mind. But what's more insulting is that the result of this system is a reason why all of us right now are struggling day in, day out, because no one in charge gives a damn. There is no real humanity here. And if this doesn't infuriate any of you, I don't know what it does. But there's an example here. Learn from the failures of these politicians and their families. We have to be better than them. And you know what? The thing is, we are better than them. This is not how a functioning nation should operate. And we have to start taking back power. with that being said, I want to say on a personal note here, just a personal note here, because we got some breaking news real quick that I got to share with all of you. But you know, I've had family members suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's, and I'm pretty sure all of you've gone through it too. It is not good to see somebody become a prisoner in their own body when their mind is leaving them. I have felt that pain, and all of you have felt that pain. Now, these politicians, they're not going to get any sympathy from me, okay? Because they've done some bad things when they were in their prime. So, but when I see stuff like this, I get flashbacks, a lot of them. I get a lot of flashbacks. I know a lot of you are also caretakers in your own right, and you know something. To my fellow caretakers out there, Merry Christmas. Things will get better. They will get better. Whew. And I hate that these politicians are actually dragging that out of me. Whoa. The holidays. I love them and I hate them at the same time. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Hang on. Jay says, my grandma was like that at the end. My mom was like that after her stroke until she died. Sorry. Thank you, Soul Construct. Melissa Brook the Heart. Don't break our hearts. Let's see. Dejura says, God bless you. No, God bless all of you. Okay. I know driving me amazing. I don't feel bad for Biden, but just like it, when I see that, when I see it, it's like, I guess, a trauma. And it's just like, because I got to wonder about their, you have to wonder about their families. You have to wonder about their families. Let's see. Grapentine. I'm not alone. I know. And there's other people with probably far more horror stories, sad stories too. You know, to quote my grandpa, you're not alone, pal. You're not alone. Peter version 1 says, drink some scotch, Kit. You know what? I got some whiskey and I'm going to have it for Christmas. Okay. That's what's going to happen. All right. There you go. There you go. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much. Oh, Reverly, thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? Natalie Williams. My mom too, Jay. I'm sorry. There you go. What else we got here? Let's see. Lawrence Johnson. It's the itchy red long underwear kit. And hey, folks, first of all, if you think that just because this is a holiday show, I'm not wearing pants. This is a nice red sweater. It's a nice red sweater. There you go. Wearing pants. Pants. Let's see. Stay strong, Kit. We love you. There you go. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's see. LOL. A bidding 71 or biting 71. Thank you so much. Aspen Fallen coming in late. Is Kit dressed as Mr. Rogers? Well, thank you for the $2. Thank you. There you go. So see, there you go. See, I'm wearing pants. Everyone's forgetting that I wear pants. Let's see. He's in 459. Good for you, Kit. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Topher 1010 says they worship power, not the money. Access to money comes with power. Absolutely. Rockfin people. There you go. Much love. Much love indeed. That's the Odyssey people. Better see how my kick people are doing. There you go. Shout out to everybody watching us. Please hit the like button. It would be ever so nice. That'd be a wonderful Christmas present for all for Hardlands Media. All right. Won't you let me be your neighbor? Says Miss Witchy Perfect. LOL. Thank you so much. Old man Barker. Hold on, buddy. He died closing a deal, fell and broke his neck off a concrete step. Old man Barker. I'm sorry, buddy. There you go. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry indeed. And thank you for saying you like the scarf. Yes, we got a little tears. Hold on, gotta wipe off these tears. There you go. Wipe off these tears. There you go. Love to all y'all from Listbrook to Heart. There you go. I call Kits whiskey. No, leave my whiskey alone. All right, folks. But I did make a promise. And hold on. Aspen Fallen tip $2. Pants check tip. That's right. Absolutely. That's right. See, there you go. Where's the Santa suit you promised? There is no Santa suit. And Massive BJ says we love you. Oh, there you go, buddy. But now, folks, we do have breaking news. So I think it's only fair that we get started with it. Because a promise is a promise after all, right? Right indeed. Right a Rooney. Right a Rooney. Here we go. So Luigi Mangione's attorney says New York City Mayor Eric Adams is trying to influence a jury pool with prejudice statements and that his right to a fair trial is being violated. This just happened right now today. And I want to give a huge shout out to Hotspot for finding this video and posting it because this just happened right now. Right, Rooney. Let's go ahead and play this video.
Very concerned about my client's right to a fair trial. In this case, he's being prejudiced by some statements that are being made by government officials. Like every other defendant, he is entitled to a presumption of innocence. But unfortunately, the way this has been handled so far, his rights are being violated. And as you know, Your Honor, there's a wealth of case law guaranteeing his right to a fair trial, but none of the safeguards have been put in place yet here. In fact, it's just the opposite of what's been happening. He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest stage perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary. He's been cooperative with law enforcement. He had been in custody for over a week. He waived extradition. He was cooperative at all accounts. There was no reason for the NYPD and everybody to have these big assault rifles that, frankly, I had no idea it was in their arsenal. And to have all of the press there, the media there, it was like perfectly choreographed. And what was the New York City mayor doing at this press conference, Your Honor? That just made it utterly political. And as Your Honor knows, under Lauro v. Charles, the Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit has held it to be clearly established that these staged perp walks to the media, unrelated to a legitimate law enforcement objective, is unconstitutional. And I submit there was zero law enforcement objective to do that sort of perp walk. There's absolutely no need for that whatsoever. And frankly, Your Honor, the mayor should know more than anyone of the presumption of innocence that he too is afforded when he dealing with his own issues. And frankly, I submit that he was just trying to detract from those issues by making a spectacle of Mr. Mangione. And
so that's all we have right now for the time being in regards to the update for Luigi. But real quick here, this was just announced as his attorney is, and again, folks, listen, the legal process is not like TV, you know, where you watch Law and Order and it's done in one episode. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works. This is going to be such an epic case. It's going to impact every aspect of not only New York, local and state politics, but it's going to impact nationwide. This is going to be the case that every jurisdiction in the United States is going to be focused on, and every single person across the political spectrum will be focused on. And it will say a lot in regards to such a high-profile case and how it turns out. Now, folks, no matter where you stand here, let's face it, there's a thing called due process, and I'll say that about anybody. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, okay? There is a process. You don't have to like the process, but it is the process, and you all have to deal with it. Every single one of us, whether we like it or not. And the thing is, Luigi does deserve a fair trial. And if there's going to be influence, especially from the political level, trying to go into this trial, then he is not getting a fair trial. He deserves a fair trial. That goes for anybody, And folks, we have seen in the past innocent men and women put behind bars for crimes they didn't commit because they were not given a fair trial or the system was rigged against them. Okay. So whatever your feelings are on Luigi, whatever they are, the point is this case must be handled with absolute fairness so that Luigi can do his defense. The prosecution obviously has to do its job here too, whether you guys like it or not. But this is a very big concern in regards to how New York politics will influence this case, because this incident that took place on December 4th once again shined a light on New York City and Mayor Eric Adams. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everyone's going to be involved, from mainstream corporate media to the two political ruling classes, the Democratic Party and Republican Party, independent media, every aspect, every level. This is going to be the case of 2025, Year of the Snake. Brace yourself for the roller coaster, but stay tuned to Hard Lens Media as we cover this story. And with that being said here, hold on there, folks. First of all, I did get a couple of well wishes here. Thank you. Let's see. I just want to see this. Lawrence Fine says she's nervous. I would be too. For a case this high profile, absolutely. I have no idea what it means to be a lawyer or be involved in the league. B says we want Dickie. Unfortunately, because okay, so people are wondering what happened to Dickie. My cousin Dickie. Well, Dickie is he's from Pennsylvania, and originally he was representing Luigi to not be extradited to New York State, but I guess that didn't happen. We need you, Dickie. We need you now. We need you now more than ever. Where's my cousin Dickie? Dickie, where are you? Teddy G says, look at the cop looming over him. Yeah, absolutely. What else we got here? Big John 32904 says, make an example of him. Yep. Patrick Shaw says the judge better do the right thing. Yeah, well, let's see. What else we got here? Lady Alex. At this point, I'm not going to be saying, I'm not going to repeat that, but yeah, I hear you. Let's see what else we got here. What else we have here? Let's see what else we got here. He'll be guilty until proven innocent. Let's see. But we got rid of due process. Thanks, Obama. Bad Wolf says exactly, Kit. Let's see. What else we got here? He should be treated the same as everyone. Absolutely. I agree. Needs more thumbs up. Hey, hit the thumbs up button. All right, there you go. You the best, Kit. Keep us learning and laughing. The People Infinite. Well, People Infinite, thank you so much for that $2 super chat. That's such a wonderful Merry Christmas present. Thank you so much. Did you have it so nice? Great Baton, thank you so much. Thank you. We love you, Kid. Well, thank you. Well, I love all of you, the audience. Okay, you guys are great. All of you are great. And also, hey, Bad Wolf says habeas corpus too. Got rid of that. Hey, there you go. And let's see. Let's make sure our Roman people is doing good. Yella Vangela says Dickie is down. I hope he's not too down. There you go. But also, oh my goodness, two things in a row. First of all, number one on Kick Political Streaming, and number two, we were down. We were at 188 followers on Kick. Now we're at 189. Saint Abachan is blessing us. One day closer to 1 million followers on Kick. We'll get there. First, we get the 1 million followers. Then we get the power. Then we get the women. No. First, we get the money. Then we get the power. Then we get the booger sugar. And then we get the women. All right, folks. We are going to be reaching the end very soon. And this Christmas stream will be up for all of you to enjoy and share and be merry about, as you should be. There you go. But folks, real quick, real quick indeed. There you go. And I just learned how to spell your name. My bad, Kit. Oh, you spelled my name wrong? Oh, yeah. No. Sometimes people call me Kit, but my K-I-T, not K-I-T-T. Unless you're confusing me with Kit the car from Knight Rider. There you go. I've heard it all at this point. There you go. You learned how to spell my name. Shame on you. But thank you for the super chats. These have been wonderful little Christmas presents. But you know what else is a really good Christmas present for old Kit Kat? Hitting the like button. It just takes a few short seconds, and it's a wonderful present. It's a wonderful present because it boosts up this thing called the algorithm, the rhythm and rhyme. There you go. But now, folks, we are going to be moving on to our final segment. Oh, no, because Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm taking the day off because I need it. My soul needs it. I need a milkshake in my soul. Let's go ahead and get ready to see the downfall of corporate media, because first and foremost, there's some problems at BSDNC, so let's get started with it. MSNBC reportedly offers Joy Reid and Stephen Rule pay cuts to stay in anchor chairs. This not no good. Not no good at all. Bad, very bad. All right, I'm quoting Idiocracy. Not good. Not good. Really not good. All right. And whoa, while we're doing this story, Darren was $100 of a super chat. Thank you, Kit. We are all family at HLM. Thanks for everything. Well, hey, buddy, sit down and relax because you're about to witness something historic, or the beginning of something historic, the full-on beginning stages, because it all happens slowly, the downfall of corporate media. So thank you so much. Your $100 super chat is very appreciated, especially this time before Christmas. Thank you for your generosity and your kindness. All the best to you. So there you go. Let's go ahead and pull up this article here from New York Post here, because, folks, this is getting all over the interwebs, okay? MSNBC's Joy Reid and Stephen Rule will reportedly need to take a pay cut if they want to remain in their anchor chairs as the struggling cable network continues to cut its losses. As we have covered in the past, corporate media is losing its viewership. Now, in comparison to 2016, when Trump got elected into office, corporate media got a boost. Venture capitals were investing in also online media, doing a lot of Trump derangement stories. But see, the thing is, 2024 is giving different results because everything that's been said about Trump has been said already. I mean, what can be said? Trump walked down the street. Oh, no. Trump dropped a piece of paper on the floor. Goodness gracious. So let's talk about this. And again, listen, MSNBC is not left-leaning. It's corporatist, but whatever. I'll read it. I will follow the orders. The left-leaning news channel, which it's not, which recently gave star anchor Rachel Maddow a $5 million year haircut from her annual $30 million haul. By the way, shout out to Nick Thompson, who was a co-host for me when we covered this show. He's like, she's fine. She's got $25 million. But my goodness, Rachel Maddow's only working like what, once a month? Well, that's a nice cushy job there. But, you know, work ethic is key. Has been negotiating with Reid and Rule on new deals at reduced salaries. Wow. The controversial Reid is believing to be earning $3 million a year to host her nightly 8 p.m. show, The Reid Out, according to Washington Free Beacon. Reid, who has been with the network since 2011 and in primetime since 2020, recently raised hackles against with a pre-Thanksgiving rant in which she accused Republicans of worshiping Donald Trump instead of Jesus. Listen, I spoke to my fair share of Trump supporters, all right, and some majority of them were just like, I just didn't want to vote Democrat. Okay? There's someone just like, he was the lesser of two evils. And listen, here's how I feel about the lesser of two evils. You're still voting for evil, but nonetheless, I get why people voted for Trump. But I've spoken to a lot of Trump supporters, and it's this whole idea of worshiping him. I mean, those are unhinged people that even cause regular voters to be like, okay, this person's kind of off on the deep end. All right? But even then, if you are in charge of media, maybe it's best not to use your platform by saying, oh, yeah, these groups of people are just crazy. Because, you know, Everybody does it, okay? Rule, host of the 11th Hour at 11 p.m. weeknights, is thought to make $2 million a year, the Free Beacon reported. She's also been a frequent Trump basher, but recently praised him for being more accessible to the press than President Biden. Well, it's because Biden lost his brain. Rule revealed that she was able to contact Trump on his cell phone, though he told her to go F myself when she asked for an interview. Hey, let me test fate here. Donald Trump, you want to show up on Hard Lens Media? Give me a call. More than happy to interview you. You know what? We'll do it at Trump Tower. Kit Cabello interviews Donald Trump. I don't know if he told her that, but whatever. Fine. A third prominent host, Jonathan Limmer, who is elevated this month as co-host Morning Joe from anchoring way too early, has been offered a new contract at a reduced salary. Ugh. An MSNBC spokesman reached by the Post said a network would not comment on personal matters. It's because they're hemorrhaging people, okay? They're hemorrhaging viewers. Comcast is thinking about letting go of MSNBC, making its own thing, separating from its profile. If you listen, if you watch Hard Lens Media, you know I praise the show Succession. I introduced it to a lot of my friends and family members already. And if it doesn't, listen, all the characters in there are deplorable, but it is an example of how media is run in this country and just how insane it is. The report lowball offers follow an exclusive story by the Post that staffers at MSNBC headquarters and at 30 Rock are in panic over looming layoffs after parent company Comcast announced plans to spin off its cable properties. The upheaval has led to reports that MSNBC President Rashida Jones is considering leaving the network after Trump is sworn in on January 20th. The captain is abandoning the ship. My goodness. Even the captain of the ship that sank off of Italy stayed on the boat longer. Okay, I shouldn't say that, but whatever. All right, a spokesperson for Jones denied she was leaving. Meanwhile, MSNBC ratings continue to nosedive, tanking more than 60% since last month's historic election victory by Trump. It fell behind ratings challenge CNN in the coveted 25 to 54 demographic for the year of total day viewers, while the two not left-leaning, please, I cannot stress this out enough. While the two left-leaning networks have seen an erosion in audience over the past months, Fox News viewership has grown 7% since Election Day, according to Nielsen figures. The conservative network also extended its reign as number one cable news channel in total viewers and the key 25 to 54 demographic for the ninth year in a row. Fox News shares common ownership with the Post owner News Corp. Yes, because it's all there, and I'm willing to bet there are people at Fox News doing a dance-off, pants-off. But hold on. This would not be Hard Lens Media without CNN. Hang on, folks, because Brian Seltzer, he's often relying on random anonymous accounts, these websites. These users are trying to present themselves as the new CNN, the new New York Times. He's talking about the new media. Well, CNN, MSNBC, your failure to adapt these challenging, tough times, and the fact that corporate media had to bully itself way onto the social media platforms so the algorithm could favor them says a lot, because people are choosing not to watch CNN and MSNBC. I want to pull up this video here. Brace yourself, folks. There seems to be a lot of bitterness.
He's oftentimes relying on random anonymous accounts, these websites, these users on X who are trying to present themselves as the new CNN, the new New York Times, but have no research behind them, no backing, no institutional knowledge. And I understand that for Musk, that's really appealing. It's exciting on his platform, but he ends up misleading a lot of people. It is striking how he does seem to be learning about lawmaking in real time. And just a moment ago, he tweeted about all the coverage of him in the last 24 hours. There's been all these questions, Dana. Is he the real president-elect? Is he the shadow president? Well, Musk responded on X. He says, the political and legacy media puppets are all echoing the same idea, parroting the same message, trying to drive a wedge between Trump and me. And Musk adds, they will fail. I don't think anybody.
Okay, look, there's a lot to be said about X. Here's the thing about X, all right? Like any social media platform, it does have its problems. But one thing cannot be denied is that its influence in our political discourse, in news and sharing information. Are there problems with it? Yes, there's problems with a lot of things. But this is the world we live in. This is the reality. Is it correct? Yeah, it's debatable, but this is the internet. This is social media. This is how people get their news. and things do need to adapt better. But this is also showing how the old systems of CNN and MSNBC are not adapting to the new environment. And what have we seen throughout the entire history of life on this planet Earth? The organisms, plants, animals, no matter the size or shape, if they fail to adapt to a shift and change of the environment, they will die out. If they fail to evolve as the world changes around them, then they will go in the long, sad history of extinction. Even the mightiest of creatures and the smallest all die out. And now this also applies for the corporations too. Corporate media, for a very long time since the Telecoms Act, enjoyed the monopoly of controlling the narrative, and that power has slipped from them. Independent media, for example, is rising up. We're seeing our influence grow. But see, the thing is, here's where your power comes in too. There shouldn't be one thing, one entity in charge. I have said on the show, I believe in citizen journalists. Each of you have a story. Each of you know what's happening in your neck of the woods. We know the problems. We see it. We know there's unchecked corruption. We know we got politicians who are senile and corrupt. This is the madness that we deal with. We have to have our voices heard. Corporate media won't do the job because corporate media is going bust. Now, the thing is, I knew one day corporate media was going to be getting a gut check. But even I was caught off guard with how bad MSNBC and CNN got hit at a bar, okay? If you ever been to a bar or a nightclub, and you're minding your own business, you're like, you're dancing, having a good time, and somebody decides to get stupid with somebody else. Like, we've all seen an altercation at the club, and that one person just, wham, gets a gut check or knocked on the ground. You're like, whoa. I got to tell you, after November 5th, covering the election, talking about it, at the bar, like, yeah, wow, yeah. I was not expecting CNN and MSNBC to be getting a beating. It's like, whoa. Wait till I tell my friends about this tomorrow. That's how I feel. They're on the floor, they're crying, or they're knocked out. And there's nothing you can do but just sit there and shake your head like you shouldn't. God's stupid.
Nobody's trying to drive a wedge except those Democrats who are saying it. Journalists are just trying to understand the relationship between Trump and Musk because it's one of the most important relationships of the next 4 years.
We're literally calling it as we see it. Elon Musk put out on social media that he didn't like the bill. Then there was a statement from Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, and then everything fell apart. Brian, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Have a good holiday.
Good to see you. Thanks.
Yes, well, corporate media is going out. It's dying out. The new media is taking over, and this is the new wave. This is how the world will operate. But the thing is, there's a problem with new media too, and that is a jackboot of online censorship. One old system dies out, but there's problems with the new system too. So when I say keep your heads on a swivel and empower yourselves, you must do it. And I have some examples of proud citizen journalists here in my live stream chat. We got Roger Meadows. We got Case Study QB. Hey, Mastermind Hour, good to see you, buddy. We got Charlie Brown Politics. Hey, we also have Social Emotional Learning with Dr. Downing. We got a lot of people. Miss What You Perfect. All these people have their own podcasts, their own shows. All right, citizen journalists have to start stepping up. Heartlands Media encourages that. Each of you has to be a legion in your own right. But corporate media is dying out. What a sight to see. It's the beginning stages. Now they could recover, but will they ever be back to their amount of influence ever again? Well, that's the big question mark. With that being said, first and foremost, again, I want to really start thanking all you lovely, beautiful people for tuning in for our Christmas special. Well, let's see. GHU81 says, new show idea. Better Call Dickie. GHU81 said the same thing again. You tipped the same $2. Thank you so much. New show idea. Better Call Dickie. GHU81. Merry Christmas, Night Industries 2000, aka KITT Kit. I don't know if I could do a good Kit impression, but hang on. Hold on. I'm gonna embarrass myself. Hang on. Why, hello, everyone. My name is Kit. My name is KITT, and I'm telling you, to all you humans, thank you so much for enjoying Hard Lens Media. The best thing to do, humans, is to hit that like button. It doesn't take long. Hit that like button. It'd be ever so nice. So thank you so much for the Rumble rants there. I want to make sure I give proper thanks to everyone. My Kick people. Kick. Good to see you. The Accord Lord, good to see you. Good to see everybody here. The Accord Lord, okay. Let's see what else we got here. We got Cheese Life. There you go. Cheese of Life. Send my love. Send my love to Pasta. There you go. Lois Drumhammer says, please tell the people to see the documentary. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. Okay. I don't know what that documentary is about, but there you go. The Absurd Anarchist on Odyssey's Happy Holidays, Kit. Thank you so much. And shout out to my X people there too, and YouTube people. Hold on. Let me acknowledge my YouTube people here, because we got a couple of super chats here. Let me go ahead and acknowledge you again. Natalie Williams, thank you so much for your $20. Much love to you. John Michael, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you for the $5. Aspen Fallen for the $4 actually altogether that you sent in. The People Infinite, thank you so much. Darren with the huge generosity. Darren, listen, thank you so much. That was a very kind, generous thing to do. I appreciate all the stuff. But hey, folks, if you really want to be super generous, hit that like button too. Peter version 1 did $1.99. Seltzer's like a dumb Paul Heyman. Hey, I needed that. Hey, Peter version 1, get up and go see the White House counselor. That goes for everybody. Everybody's going to go see the White House counselor, okay? There you go. Everybody go see it. Merry Oofmas, HLM Nation from Barnes Homestead. There you go. Merry Christmas to y'all. Trey said it was Kit. It's Trey. It's Trey. Okay. There you go. What else we got here? What else we got here? Merry Christmas to you all. Everybody go see the White House counselor, okay? All right, go see the White House counselor because she's making some fresh bread for us all. All right. There you go. But hold on, folks. We got some music by Jesse Jett. So I'm going to play something I want to play. You know, while it's not Christmas, it's not a Christmas-related song, but I think it's Kings of Colony. I like it. It's my personal favorite from Jesse Jett. So everyone, listen. First of all, whatever you do this holiday, take good care of yourselves and each other. Spend time with the people you love. Cherish these moments. I've learned a lot of lessons this year and last year. These last 2.5 years, to be more precise, have been very heavy for me. But also going forward, enjoy the time with your family. And I'm glad that you made Hardlands Media part of your morning this Monday. I'll see you guys sharp after the holidays. My name's Kit. This is Hardlands Media. Peace, everybody, and much love. Here's music by Jesse Jett. And tell somebody you love them. Peace. Oh, wait. I forgot. Pour some whiskey in your coffee. Grab yourself a most smokable bowl. Do some shrooms, some cocoa leaves. Whatever you need to do to get you to this mighty Monday morning. If you're going to work, be safe. Come home from work, be safe. It's your day off. Dance off, pants off to you. My lovelies, my mornings, my sunshines. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year's. You deserve it. You deserve it. And thank you. And I apologize for any kind of onions that were being cut. No tears. Take care.
Now what you're following, that's idolatry, that's just fake. And all that wallowing that you tolerate, that's not faith. The kings of colony watched autonomy make our graves. The kings of colony know no policy, only rape. Now once you fall asleep, it won't bother you what they say. But the kings of colony, while they sleep, slaughter, they still complain. We say, please color me, still too solemnly, still too plain. All hail economy, praise the pharmacy, seas in flames. They're buying up Hawaii, and the smoke's not even cleared. Those vultures smelled the fire and an enterprise appeared. Investment opportunities where melted down communities leave vacant space BlackRock has been lusting for years. The council meets in private and they don't discuss survivors. Concerns among construction groups are all Lahaina hears. They'll wander through your city with this mocking sword of pity next to Oprah and her camera crew who tore the Trail of Tears, where footage flows as freely as the stream of liquid steel and the pools of pure aluminum that trickle down your wheels. And Biden's here to say he knows exactly how it feels, cause he had a kitchen fire once and had to miss a meal. And people still believe that piece of shit deserves your vote, like he's not why supplies are being smuggled in by boat, like he's not why our citizens were forced to stay and roast. And he can't unfreeze your funding, folks, cause Azov needs it most. I'll bet my every dollar Biden watched it with a smile. I'll bet he knows the whereabouts of every missing child. He's just the kind of man who lives to trample something tribal, collecting culture's corpses just to throw them on the pile. Like he and all his buddies didn't dream about the day when those who dared defy the donor class were cleared away, when home insurance triples and you can't afford to stay, and your land falls to the hands of those whose windfall fan the flames. The state will take Lahaina and they'll bastardize its name, and tourism will swarm it all the same. You see, the state we left Lahaina shows the ground rules of the game, the planes that in the night ignite the planes. And if questions raised that reckon the potential use of lasers, I suggest you take a closer shave by way of Occam's razor. And if those civilians stood between this country and its gains, then there's really nothing further to explain. Because you may know this already, if you truly know our past, but it ain't the first occasion and it will not be the last where Americans are kettled in and made to bear the blast, are barricaded in and left for ash. How many in Lahaina now are lying there awake and still can hear the city we left leveled in our wake? They still hear all the people that we let the fire take, instructed from above to stay in place. So look to the horizon, cause a fire comes for you. Desire made incarnate of the power-hungry few who instructed the police to not let anybody through, to barricade them in, and so they do.